everyone, I am here today with Ted and we are going to do the ugly book cover tag.
Come here, you bastard!
Anyway, so I wanted to do this tag because I saw a few other videos on YouTube and I just thought it was really fun. And I have a lot of ugly books in my collection, so I'm just going to talk about 5 of my random ones that I think are pretty unattractive. Now, anyone who tells you that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover or that they don't judge a book by its cover, they're trying to sell you something. Because the first thing you notice about a book is the way it looks. Unless you're visually impaired, the first thing is looking at it. And that goes for anything in life. You judge things by how they look. Because if something is not aesthetically pleasing, you generally want nothing to do with it. So, the first book I want to talk about is Legend by Marie Lu. I bought this last year and it's been in my TBR pile for a long time. Every time I finish a new book, I go over to my shelf and I pick out the next book. This one has been sitting there for so long and I just am more drawn to the books that look nice. I've mentioned in my haul that this cover's not necessarily ugly, just very masculine. It really bothers me when the author's name is huge and it takes up most of the cover. I mean, the book itself is not very big and her name takes up more than a third of the book. And I don't know, I mean, I know who Anne Rice is and I know that she's the author, come on. But, I don't know, the picture itself, not bad, but just the fact that it's so covered, it's busy with text, I don't like it. And therefore I have not read it yet, and I've had this for a long time. Next book is Across the Universe. I got this the same month that I hauled Legend, and Across the Universe originally had a very beautiful cover, and it was a picture of the galaxy, and it was just gorgeous, and now it's just kind of boring looking. It's what I imagine, I guess when you're looking out a window in a submarine or something. I know that's not what's going on, but it kind of looks that way, and I hate covers with the picture of a character. If it's a cartoon character or something, or if it's a sketch, that's fine, but she looks too real. I want to visualize what the character looks like myself. I don't need some model posing on the cover to tell me what the character's supposed to look like, because oftentimes they get it wrong, which brings me to my next book. Oh, by the way, I bought this because I ordered it on Amazon, and I needed to make a total of at least $25 to get free shipping, so I thought I would give this a try because from what I know, it's also a really good book and it's got excellent ratings, so maybe one day. But also, like I said, if it had a nicer cover, I probably would have read it months ago, but I haven't yet. It just hasn't called to me. So that brings me to my next book with characters on the cover. This is Sweet Peril, which is the second book. It's the sequel to Sweet Evil, right? I think that's the second one. But these characters, they're the same models that were on the first book, but at least they looked better back in the first book. Anna looks like she's half asleep, and Kaiden looks like he's constipated. So that's a no-no. But I have read this one because I read the first one and I thought it was very unique and it was interesting enough that it left me wanting more. I mean, if you took the characters out, the background is very gorgeous. Maybe the publisher could have chosen a better picture, or, I don't know, had their backs and they're in some sort of embrace, but I don't want to see the face, and so I think the characters look really bad in that picture. They probably aren't ugly people, it's just a bad picture. And then the last one is Go Ask Alice. It's ugly and creepy at the same time. That girl looks very scary, and it's also kind of a boring cover. It's just black mostly, and it says Go Ask Alice. And I got this book in high school because that's a lot of dust. I got it in high school because we had this, I guess like a book drive or something, where they had all these brand new books in our school library, and our homeroom teacher would take us there and we could have one book for free. So that was free, and I picked it out because it's supposedly this diary, and it's very open and very bold. And I read it. It was interesting, but I don't think it's a real diary. But it's still an ugly cover. I'm supposed to name a few ugly books that were pretty good reads. So I'm gonna double dip here and say Sweet Peril. This was a very interesting read. I don't care for the cover, but I do like the book and I would read it again. Another one is one of my all-time favorites. It's this edition. I mean, this is Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. And Frodo just looks very unattractive there. And I don't like the movie covers, but that's just the edition that I happen to have. The original cover I think is gorgeous, and there are other editions where the cover is really nice, but I happen to have that one, and it's one of my all-time favorite books, and I love it forever and ever. Great book, ugly cover. I'm also supposed to find some books that have ugly covers that were actually bad reads. I cannot do this one because, as you guys know, about a month ago I did a book giveaway, and I gave away all the books that I don't ever intend on reading again. There isn't a single book on my shelf right now that is a bad book in my opinion. I like everything that I've got because I gave away all the ones that I don't like. But I will say Jane Eyre, that was an ugly cover. I didn't like it. Pride and Prejudice, didn't like that book, didn't like the cover. So that's a few of them. Question, what makes a book cover ugly to me? Well, I kind of touched on this as I went through all 5 books, and I explained what I didn't like about it. In general, what bothers me the most about a book cover is the characters. I don't like seeing characters on book covers. It bothers me, and usually isn't the prettiest. I like natural backgrounds, you know, like pictures of trees and flowers and smoke or whatever. Something cool and mysterious, not people. I can look at people all day long, and, well, I don't want to look at a poster as a book cover. Are these books likely to be donated, gifted, sold, or will you still keep them despite their unattractive appearance? Well, as I mentioned, if they are not interesting books, I will not keep them. So if it's an ugly cover or not, I would give them away. But the ones that I find to be unattractive, that are still unread, I'm going to read it and see how I feel about it, then decide what I'm going to do with it. Because I don't discard books that are just because they're ugly. I get rid of them because I don't like their content. Award one of your books King of Ugliness in the kingdom that is your book collection. Okay, well, bam. This is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This face and black and white, need I say more? I don't know, maybe some of you guys like this cover, but I think it's terribly ugly. Does that work? It's a double negative. Terribly ugly. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Okay. All right. Good talk, Coach. Thanks.